Today we're going to be making brisket hot and fast. Is it going to be juicy? Is it going to be tender? I don't know. Let's find out.
Big thanks to Kamado Joe for sponsoring this episode.
Normally cooking a brisket takes up a lot of time. We even developed a method for it called the 4-2-10 method. 4 hours, 2 hours, 10 hours, altogether 16 hours for cooking a brisket. But what if you're in a hurry? Or you're doing competition barbecues. And if you think about it, almost all of South America is not cooking their briskets low and slow. So to do this test, I thought we are going to use an Argentinian style-ish of cooking briskets. And of course I've got the perfect cut for it. This is a brisket from my own bull. Yes, I still got meat from the bull that I cut up in July. If you ever have the opportunity to butcher your own cow and just get the perfect cuts that you want, then I highly recommend doing that. It will not only save you a lot of money, but it will also give you the opportunity of getting the cuts that you would like to have yourself. You can do all crazy styles of cuts. As you can see, I've got a rough cut brisket right here. And normally I would clean this up. I will make it the absolute perfect brisket, but that is a big no-no if you go to South American countries. So as we're using their method, we're also going to respect their way of treating the meat because it will affect the final result. Of course, I do want a little bit of seasoning on this brisket, so I'm going to use the Pitmaster Texas seasoning. This is a really good all-purpose Texas style seasoning. It really helps to boost the flavors of the brisket. Of course I'm going to do both sides, but only where there's meat. Where there's fat, there is not going to be this seasoning, because on the fat side I'm just going to use salt. And lots of it to help render down the fat. It's going to make it extremely crispy and tasty. And as you can probably see behind me, I already fired up my Kamado Joe Big Joe. I took out the grill grates, removed the heat deflectors, then added a thin layer of new fresh charcoal. And I'm explicitly saying a little bit of charcoal, like, well, maybe 3 fingers in a layer of charcoal. You see, I'm gonna mimic a wood fire burning charcoal underneath the meat, just like they do in South America. If I would have added more, we're probably going to have a grease fire. And we definitely don't want that. Then I lit up the charcoal, put the grill grates back in, and let the fire starters burn down. Now as you can see, the barbecue is running at a really low temperature. That's exactly what I want. I want to cook the brisket over direct heat, but with a really low intensity heat. So basically I'm using the amount of charcoal to regulate the temperature in my barbecue. And with the barbecue now all set up, ready to go, it's time to put it on. This thing is an absolute monster. Oh, fat cap down onto the barbecue. Hopefully it fits. Oh, yeah, baby. This brisket is already smiling at me. We're gonna have an amazing dinner. For now, I'm gonna close the lid so we can keep an eye on the temperature. I got the top vent all the way open. I got the bottom vent all the way open. If I need to control the temperature a little bit, I'm gonna close the bottom vent a little bit. And I'm aiming for a cooking temperature of around 140 degrees Celsius. As you can see, things are moving fast. We got lots of smoke coming. That means the fat's rendering down. But it also means we're adding fuel to the fire. So therefore, I'm going to do a flip. Well, not me personally. I'm going to flip the brisket. You see, I don't want to burn the fat and the meat. I just want to cook. There we go. Just like that. And you can see how the fat crispened up right there. We got a little bit of dark spot at the middle. And I can see that I have way too much oxygen in the barbecue. So I'm going to close the bottom vent. And now quickly close the lid, kill the fire, and only have a little bit of radiation heat. I need to slow this way down. It's been 2.5 hours and the brisket has already reached the core temperature of 70 degrees Celsius, which normally means I would check on the color of the brisket because that is the moment that it doesn't take on any more smoke flavor. So if we have a look, then we see, as you can see, we got a beautiful smoked mahogany color on the outside of this brisket. The fat rendered down and crispened up, and that means we're on to the next phase of the cook. Getting this brisket juicy and tender. And therefore I'm steering away from the traditional South American way to do it. I want to go as fast as possible. Remember, we're going fast here. So I'm taking the brisket off and putting it on some butcher's paper. Let's close the grill and make sure it doesn't rise up too fast under temperature. Now to this brisket I also want to add some beef tallow while wrapping it up. And as you can see, I warmed it up. Because of course, warm beef tallow helps to spread up the cooking process. And I'm going to pour this on the brisket. By the way, this is also brisket fat. Wrapping the brisket is not that hard. All you need to do is just go in with the paper and try and get a nice tight seal. Good. There we go. Nice and tight. And there we got it. A brisket fully wrapped up, packed up, real tight. This now goes back on the barbecue. Now, of course, I can imagine you feel that this could be dangerous, but that is why we're keeping our temperatures below 160 degrees Celsius. 20 degrees higher to speed up the process, but still low enough to not cause any burns on the paper of the brisket. I'm gonna open up the bottom vent just a little bit, and that's gonna do the job for us. It took another 3 hours, and now the brisket is at the temperature that I need to have it at. I flipped it once during the cook, and you can see why. Because the paper was getting a little on the dark side, but it also means that we got a lot of radiation heat on this side. So to prevent one side from cooking faster than the other side, I gave it a flip. Now, as it is not done cooking yet, the next phase is to let it rest. And it doesn't matter if you cook your brisket low and slow or that you cook it hot and fast, but you are going to have to let it rest. Rest. So that's what's going to happen right now. I'm going to stick this into an oven at 65 degrees Celsius for 2 hours. And I'll see you guys on the other side of that. Well, the brisket significantly cooled off now to the point where I can at least touch it. And we can now take a closer look at it. Oh, these are exciting times. The one thing that I would love to have happen here is to get all the juices on the board. Oh, ridiculous. Wow. Oh. Hold on. I don't know what's the smart move here. It's not like I haven't done brisket before. Oh, I messed up. Big time. All right, I might as well. Let's tear it off. As you can see, this looks very, very promising so far. But there's only one way to see if we did a good job. And that is to slice into it. Do we register that? I haven't sharpened this knife for a while. Should have. Could have, should have, would have. Didn't do it though. Oh, that looks like a good brisket to me. Look at that, guys. Hot and fast brisket. Let's get a slice out of this, and you can see it's falling apart already on me. That is because with hot and fast, you're tending to go a little faster, and the chances of overshooting are like imminent, real close. But the most important thing is that, look at this fat right here. That's where the fat used to be, and it rendered out. That's important. Now, this is a rather thick piece of meat, but we can pull it apart easily. We got a nice bit of smoke ring right there. Beautiful pieces of smoke ring, juicy brisket. Let's give this a try. You know, I really do see why the pros no longer cook that brisket low and slow. Is it really worth that time if they have to do competition? It tastes pretty dang good. I officially like this brisket. I could have trimmed off some of the fat like that is done in American barbecue, or you can just leave it on as they do in the South American barbecue. But overall, the meat is absolutely spectacular, tastes amazing, pull apart tender, and then finishing it off at high temperatures. So the verdict is, yes, you can grill or roast your brisket over direct heat at high temperatures and still have amazing results. Hope you agree with the outcome, and if not, then leave me a comment down below. Tell me, would you try this hot and fast method? And if you would, then why? See you guys in the next video. Until then, eet smakelijk and keep on grilling.